Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and yeah, there's still more updates today. There's still more updates. I have a brief update on some things that Amberlynn's been up to on social media. Very limited. Oh, there's Poe. I literally just asked Poe if he wanted to get up there to film a video, and he got comfy in his dog bed. And now that I started the video, he said, you know what? I think I'm gonna join you. Anyways, that's fine. Happy to have you, bud. Happy to have you here. Anyways, Amberlynn has been up to very little on social media, despite Alexis coming out with her video yesterday and things like that. So I'll get into that a little bit, and then we're gonna cover part 2 of Alexis's little tea spilling situation type of deal. She posted it this morning. I woke up and I saw it. It was there. Well, I don't know if she posted it before or after I woke up. I was not looking in bed at my phone, but while I was having my coffee, I definitely saw it. It's there. We're gonna react to it again. And I also have some updates about yesterday's video too. So maybe I'll put some timestamps if you want to jump around to the part that seems most interesting to you. Otherwise, just watch the whole thing. Also, speed run. Quick going over of all the names that any of the side characters might be known by, because there were some questions in the comment section of yesterday's video. You have Amberlynn, of course, we all know her. You have Tommy, who also goes by Tommy Salami. Well, that's what we call her on the internet. Tommy Salami, whose real name is Emily, and Alexis has used her real name Emily a lot. You also have Valentine/Erica. We have since come to find out that Amberlynn's longtime girlfriend for about the past year-ish, her real name is Erica. She has a wife named Brittany. That comes up sometimes. There's also Wifey/Feline/Jade, which Jade is a name that I think has been known to us, but now we have Alexis using Jade's real name as well, so it's helpful for you if you have that context. And then occasionally there'll be old side characters. Eric was brought up in yesterday's video. Eric used to be a roommate of Amberlynn's that she met via Beck, and I imagine there's opportunities for Beck to come up, for Destiny to come up, Crystal, I mean, you name it. If anybody else comes up, I'll try to give context when they come up. So anyways, Amberlynn has posted a little bit on social media. She's posted a couple of cringe TikToks. You know, it's really unfortunate because she posted one very early this morning. I'm sure it was late at night for her. I'm sure she went to bed shortly after, but it was early morning for me, and it was her like lip syncing to Guess by Charlie XCX featuring Billie Eilish, which is unfortunate because I really like that song. But I do often tell people, sometimes Amberlynn will like something and people will be in my comments and be like, oh my god, I really like that. I really like that thing. I can't believe I have something in common with Amberlynn. It's fine. Occasionally Amberlynn has taste, and I like that song. So no worries if you like something that Amberlynn likes, but I do hope she doesn't ruin it for me, you know, because sometimes she knows how to run something into the ground. But maybe the biggest update and change that you need to know about is that if you keep up with old Amberlynn Reed on the Instagram, you might recall that when she first started dating Tommy Salami, she changed her Instagram name to Tommy's.girl, and girl had 2 I's in it. And then once she broke up with Tommy, she switched it to O.Amby. Well, it seems this morning she was inspired, and she has now changed her screen name over there to Slamies.girl. I'm just like, it's giving one juvenile still. That's what I said about the Tommy's girl thing. Like, making your whole entire personality about a partner is cringe to me. And not surprising, but certainly cringe. And it's giving a little, like, too much of you leaning into the things that people are saying about your partner. Like, Tommy Salami is not supposed to necessarily be a flattering nickname for your feeder girlfriend. Like, you have a feeder girlfriend who an online community is nicknaming after food. Like, they're giving her a food-related nickname, and you're leaning into that. But I guess Amberlynn's philosophy is if you can't beat them, join them. And I'm kind of nervous that means that Amberlynn's just gonna lean into, yeah, my girlfriend's a feeder, so what? So what? Which I will also say, her girlfriend did open up her Instagram. It was previously a private account, and she has since opened it up to just letting anybody follow her. And I think the last I looked, she had actually decided to go in and clean up who she follows. But there were lots of people clocking that she was following a lot of like feeder, SSBBW related types of accounts. At this point, I think it's just very, very hard for Amberlynn to deny that she is in this like feeder relationship situation type of deal. I think she's just probably gotta go into accepting it. It might be the case that Amberlynn is into that and she's been downplaying it for a long time, because that brings us to the updates about yesterday's tea spilling video that Alexis put onto the internet. Did I say who Alexis is when I gave the rundown of all the names? Alexis is Amberlynn's friend. I'm using the term friend loosely here at this point because they certainly aren't friends anymore. They had never met each other in real life, and they have only ever experienced friendship through the internet, through FaceTime, through things like that. And they've known each other about a year, and yesterday Alexis put out a tea spilling video, and I did react to that yesterday. Now, the thing about reacting to a video versus what I've been doing the past few days with Amberlynn's 2 to 3 hour long live streams is that if I'm watching something after the fact and like taking notes on it, I could really sit there and develop some thoughts about it. And when I'm reacting, I'm just saying whatever's on my mind while I'm watching the video. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. One thing I want to clarify for sure is that I mentioned like, oh, like she revealed that Amberlynn had this relationship with somebody named Abby who was maybe like 20 years old whenever Amberlynn started talking to her. And I said, oh, that's consensual, I guess. Like, you know, like what can you say about that? And I really do follow a lot of people in age gap relationships on the internet. Albeit I will say, like, usually the age gap relationships start later in the youngest person's life than like maybe this particular relationship. And so I do want to say, I don't want to minimize the fact that like a 20-year-old is developmentally in a very different place than like Amberlynn is as a 30-something-year-old. And I know that to be the case because I went to college, I got a graduate degree in higher education and student affairs, and I literally like took classes about student development. Definitely do understand the concept that people who are college age, whether they go to college or not, are still very much developing and learning about themselves and figuring out who they are. So I definitely get the ick factor there. I feel like my initial reaction was, well, I guess it's not illegal, but I do think it's cringe for Amberlynn, for sure. The other thing that we really need to talk about in regards to yesterday's video is that I don't think if you look on YouTube, you can't really tell from the thumbnail of Alexis's video that there's necessarily anything nefarious about it. I honestly thought, like, when I saw it, I didn't think a lot of it because, like, Amberlynn frequently films in front of that shelf. I thought it was, like, maybe her unboxing a perfume or something from an old video, but what I missed is that on TikTok, Alexis showed a much larger version of that thumbnail. Actually, I don't even know if it's exactly the same thumbnail. It looks a little different because in the one on TikTok, Amberlynn's eyes are open, and on YouTube, they're closed. And on the one on TikTok, you can see that Amberlynn is holding like a box of Crumbl cookies with the cookie in the box. Also on TikTok, that picture, that screen capture was captioned with, "This screen capture won't mean anything to you guys, but the Double E sister wives will know what this is from." And I imagine the Double E sister wives would be Erica and Emily. And while I was live streaming yesterday on Twitch, not doing anything Amberlynn related, Jordy was live, and I guess Alexis was in his stream, and she provided further clarity about what this particular screen capture is from. She said the Crumbl cookie video is a noodle video, as in I think she's trying to allude to nudes, like it's supposed to be like a sexy time video. And she goes on to say, shirtless, and essentially just gropes herself and being gross with a cookie. It was made for Erica. And I need to brace y'all for, I don't know, I don't think this should be an unpopular opinion here. I don't think that this should be like a crazy unpopular opinion, but it might be. And you're welcome to think about this however you want to think. Like, me sharing my opinion is not me trying to tell you how to feel about it, but I personally feel from Alexis, it gives me the ick. It gives me the ick that she feels the need to put out like sensitive material and photos that somebody who is allegedly her friend sent to her. I mean, at the same time, I do think it's also icky that Amberlynn was sending every single explicit photo and video that she sent to Erica or received from Erica to Alexis. Like, I think that's really weird behavior. I mean, Amberlynn can send Alexis whatever videos of herself she wants, obviously, but it's very weird to me that Amberlynn was sending videos and pictures of Erica to Alexis. So I don't really understand what the dynamics of their friendship was that Amberlynn felt the need to send all that stuff to her, and I also highly doubt, I mean, unless there's more to the story, I doubt that Erica agreed to have those photos sent to somebody else too. So I think all of this swapping of these pictures, and now Alexis posting screen captures from this sexually explicit video on the internet is icky. And when I said that some of the things that Alexis was talking about really needed proof, I guess I should have been more clear that, like, I don't need you to post any explicit photos of Amberlynn. I don't need to, see the details of those things. And that's just my take on it. Honestly, truly, it gives me the ick. I will say that Amberlynn was on TikTok and, like, on her TikTok responding to comments about the Crumbl cookie. Somebody asked, have you ever had Crumbl cookie? And she responded, have you? So I think Amberlynn's aware of all of this mess. But I don't know. It's all steering towards like major ick for me with all parties involved once again. I think that Alexis is trying to like really just eviscerate Amberlynn at this point. It no longer feels like she's super worried about Amberlynn being in this relationship with Tommy, and it seems like she's 100% just like trying to get revenge on Amberlynn Reed. And honestly, I think all of this is just probably truly pushing Amberlynn closer to Tommy Salami. The only other update to share with you all is that allegedly Alexis's partner was commenting on Amberlynn's TikTok or something, and allegedly Alexis has chosen to leave them because of their comment on Amberlynn's post. So I guess Alexis is also now single. I don't know. That's just a mess. I'm not too interested in all of that, but it feels like a mess. Anyways, I think that's all the like random other additional tea. We should get into the Q&A part 2, Alexis's part 2 of the Q&A. And I did bring up the Crumbl cookie situation because the title seems to allude to maybe Alexis bringing it up in this video. So the title is Amberlynn's Former Besties Q&A Part 2 #CookieGate 2024. All right, so let's just get to, shall we?
Hey guys, it's
Hi.
Alexis. And today I will be doing a Q&A part 2.
Let's go.
I also will be discussing the pumpkin spice buzzball allegations.
I don't know what that is.
The conversation I had with a...
What are the pumpkin spice buzzball allegations? I haven't seen anything about that.
Lars' former roommate Eric and the highly scandalous 2024 CookieGate. Today I come bearing answers, screenshots, and enough hot orange chicken from Panda Express to feed all of Oklahoma City.
She's being so dramatic today. She's really leaning into this content creator like little bag that she's got going on here. She's being so dramatic. All right, let's go. Give me all the tea, Alexis.
Okay, so the first question is, how did y'all meet and become friends? When did your friendship start? So when Amberlynn and Jade ended their relationship, I was also going through a breakup that had happened maybe like 2 weeks after they broke up. And you guys are going to come for me when I tell you this, but quite frankly, I deserve it. Speaking of, shout out to FBI.
Wait. What do you mean you deserve it? Deserve what? Oh, I guess maybe she's saying that people are gonna tell her that she deserved this friendship or something. I don't understand what she meant there. I just don't ever look at any content creator that I follow on the internet as like, oh, that's somebody I want to be friends with. I'm gonna slide into their DMs, but I guess I'm just in a different place. I can't ever imagine a world. I'm trying to think of like somebody. I mean, I guess I kind of have done that with Peter Mon, but that's not really, that feels so different. I guess because like the things I've talked to him about are like content creator to content creator. I'm trying to think about somebody who like truly has no idea that I exist and if I would ever reach out to them and try to like form a friendship with them. I just don't see it, especially not trying to reach out to them during a vulnerable time to start a friendship with them. It's just very unrelatable to me. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all can relate.
FBI Frank. Woo! So anyways, yes, I did reach out to Amberlynn via Instagram.
Wait, she wasn't done answering that question? I thought she moved on because she popped up the screenshot of the FBI Frank. Let me go back. Maybe my dumbass just misunderstood. Why did she put up the FBI Frank thing?
That had happened maybe like 2 weeks after they broke up. And you guys are gonna come for me when I tell you this, but quite frankly, I deserve it. Speaking of, shout out to FBI Frank. Woo! So anyways, yes, I did reach out to Amberlynn via Instagram, and
What did FBI Frank have to do with anything? I don't understand that.
May have been a romantical situation type deal, but after talking for a couple weeks, I was able to very quickly assess that I could not be in a long-term romantic relationship with Amber. So we decided to be friends. And just for reference, this all took place in July of 2023. So after I had assessed that Amberlynn and I would not do well as partners, my ex-girlfriend and I had decided that we were going to try to make things work.
Okay.
Especially because we were still in a lease together for another month. And
all right.
when I kind of broke things off with Amber, to try to rekindle my relationship with my ex-girlfriend, you can bet your bottom dollar she was super mad.
Okay, I wanted to listen to as much of it as I could before I got this thought out, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to be understanding, particularly to queer people, particularly to her in this situation. I don't know where in Wisconsin she lives, but if she's potentially like anywhere that's not Milwaukee or Madison, Wisconsin, I could see maybe it being hard to meet other lesbians. Wisconsin is not that far away from me in Chicago, right? So like, I understand what the rural parts of like the Midwest look like. So I'm trying to like just be gracious of like, maybe she just doesn't have a lot of options. I mean, it sounds like she had a real life girlfriend in real life here. I just can't imagine ever watching Amberlynn though and being like, I want to reach out and start something romantically. So yeah, I think you got everything you had coming to you, Alexis.
So I guess technically you could say I was the first girl Amberlynn talked to after her relationship with Jade had ended.
That's also interesting to me because I feel like they've always tried to establish that there was never anything romantic between the two of them, that they've always just been strictly friends.
I know, but please don't cancel me for this. I can literally explain.
I'm not trying to cancel you for anything, girl. I think well, first of all, you're not canceled. You clearly have this platform here for yourself, just to be clear, but also like, I don't have to say anything. I think your own actions and behaviors will speak for themselves over time, you know? Like, I think it's already very clear the kind of person you are. Honestly, so much of this, for me at this point, feels like it's rooted in revenge and trying to just, like, completely drag Amberlynn. And that's not to let Amberlynn off scot-free. I just want to be clear, since I know some people, based off the last Q&A, are worried that I'm trying to protect her. But I think it's very fair to say say that Alexis is also a questionable party in this situation.
The reason that I even messaged Amberlynn in the first place is because, honestly, I was a viewer and I really didn't think she was going to respond to me. And then I was so starstruck after she messaged me back that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to her.
I just want to say once again, I said this to her yesterday in the video too, but dream bigger, Alexis. You're getting starstruck by old Amberlynn Reid in the DMs. You're clearly also not special at this point. Like, in hindsight, you were probably one of many. I mean, you already know there were other women, but like, you were probably one of many girls that she was talking to in the DMs. You ain't special.
I had been watching Amberlynn since like maybe 2018.
Damn.
And when I first started watching her initially, I don't know, she kind of inspired me. As
in what
someone
ways?
who is also a plus-sized woman, I just really love to see her representation on a public platform. And she also checked off another one of my boxes because she was representing the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
I was sorry. I'm realizing it's important to remember that I'm watching this, with like my many, many years of jaded glasses, When I started watching Amberlynn, I also started for similar reasons. Like, I also started because I feel like I am fat. I feel like I'm obviously not as fat as Amberlynn Reid, but like I was looking at the time for people who were doing weight loss things on the internet, and then I also found out that she was gay, and I was like, okay, let me keep watching. So I understand where she's coming from. I feel like I figured it out a little bit quicker, but it's not a competition. It's not a competition. Nobody wins a prize for figuring out that Amberlynn Reid was a wild, chaotic, manipulative character on the internet first. Nobody gets a trophy for figuring that out sooner. Alexis has arrived. She's made it to the finish line with the rest of us.
But anyways, so we decided to remain friends, and we have been pretty close ever since, up until I made a decision and I set a boundary that if she's going to stay with Emily/Tommy, I'm not going to be her friend.
Okay.
And now it's really too late to ever be able to turn around and go back. I mean, it's gone too far.
Well, I think you've taken it too far. I guess for me, the turning point for stuff with Alexis is like, I was willing to hear her out about her legitimate concerns regarding Emily. I think like if you're really Amberlynn's friend, like there's plenty of reasons to be concerned about who Emily is as a girlfriend. And so I related to that. When she started coming out and talking about all these other things that have nothing to do with Emily, and it's like, oh, you've just been sitting on this information, all of these things that, like, now you will say are bad things about her, but, like, previously on the internet, you've, like, stand for Amberlynn, you've defended her and things like that, knowing she was doing all these things. Like, to me, that says you're a hurt friend. You were hurt in this situation, and now you want to take a blowtorch to the earth and take everything down with you. So I think that's the part for me of, like, at one point, like, she had me when she was genuinely or seemed genuinely concerned about the Tommy relationship. And now I'm just like, I will sit here and listen to your tea, but, like, I don't know that you are this great friend in this relationship either. Just to be clear.
But honestly, I don't really need any more friends in my life who don't value me.
Tea.
A part of my journey and becoming a better version of myself and being true to me, I don't really need any more people in my life who don't have my best interest at heart.
Sure.
And especially someone that doesn't share the same values and morals that I have. The next topic I would like to discuss is the infamous Crumbl cookie
yeah, let's talk about it.
This comment talks about Oh Lordy, it's Shorty's live stream and how I had made a comment in his live stream saying that my thumbnail was a clip from a video that Amberlynn had personally sent me. The video starts off by her basically saying, okay, babe, like, this is a video just for you, and this was made for Erica, her former partner, aka Valentine. And the video initially starts out with her clothed, just kind of like eating the cookie and reviewing it. And then it very quickly turns into her shirtless, still with a bra on, but her shirtless and kind of getting like a little crazy, like having a little crazy moment with the Crumbl cookie.
Like, what do you mean?
There is a portion of the video where Amberlynn is shirtless and essentially just kind of like groping herself. Shirt off, bra off, cookie down.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on you saying that she was having fun with the cookie. Like, what? What does that mean? No. No, don't answer that, actually. But like, having fun? No, I don't want to know, actually. No, thank you. I'm good. And actually, honestly, I really still stand by, like, actually, if she had just said, like, oh, I've seen videos that Amberlynn has done that seem like feeder content, I think that's one thing. And I'm glad she hasn't, at the very least, posted the whole video. But I think I'm good. I don't need to know details. No.
It was kind of a cinematic masterpiece, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, yeah?
But disturbing nonetheless. And when she sent me this video, she literally made me FaceTime her to see my reaction and then proceeded to ask me if I liked it. And this all happened, mind you, on July 31st. So very much while she was still supposedly so in love with Emily/Tommy.
Oh, see, that is tea. Okay, so that's tea. If she sent it on the 31st, I mean, also, just to be clear, this particular screenshot doesn't necessarily indicate that that's coming from Amberlynn. Like, that this screenshot of this video could have been sent by anybody to anybody. But if that's true, that is tea, because July 31st, stuff with Erica should have been way done. July 31st was only like a week or two ago. like she for sure was allegedly in a relationship with Emily at that time. Like, July 31st literally just happened. I had already gotten home from the wedding I went to. That is crazy, if that's true. If that timeline is true, that is wild. I don't know, though, because, like, Erica and Brittany all claim that everything was done at that point. Like, Erica and Brittany claimed that there was no more interaction. So why would Amberlynn be sending this? I mean, there's also, I guess, the possibility that Amberlynn was just sending it to Alexis after the fact to talk about, like, isn't this a funny video that I sent to Erica at one point or something? Like, I don't know. There's lots of things that could be speculated on based on this. I don't know that there's anything definitively that says that, like, Amberlynn sent that to Erica as well on July 31st.
Also, as I'm editing this, I do just want to say I think it's also entirely plausible that is true, too. I think I was just so caught off guard in the reaction that I was trying to make sense of it. So it could be true as well. I could believe that, too.
So in love, but still sending essentially soft to your best friend. And unsolicited, because I did not and would not ask for that.
Sure. But also, aren't you the one that said that you've already, prior to July 31st, been seeing things from Amberlynn? That's also what I'm so confused about, because in the last video, she alluded to the fact that, well, I don't know, fact is maybe not the right word, but she alluded to Amberlynn sending her also videos of Erica. It sounded like this is not the first time it's happened. So what about all of those other times? I believe you that it was unsolicited, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I have more questions than I feel like we got answers for here. Oh my god, that was also loud.
The next moment
Sorry.
I would like to talk about is the fact that Amberlynn's former roommate, Eric, messaged me on TikTok. Now, I'm not sure on specific dates, but Eric and Ricky did recently come to visit her, I believe within the last, 4 months.
There was a video about it. Yes, they came and visited her.
But again, this is an example of another friend on the back burner because she is in a relationship again. Now, I personally never really kept up with the content that included Eric and Ricky. I just didn't find it to be very interesting.
That's interesting. When were Eric and... She said she's been watching since 2018.
Okay, y'all, I just want to say I did hear while she was talking as I'm editing back that she said that she just didn't find it to be interesting content, so she didn't keep up with them. Not that she, didn't know anything about them. I misunderstood what she said, so I'm about to go on and say a bunch of stupid shit that doesn't really matter because she just said that she didn't keep up with it as much back then.
If she's been watching since 2018, Amberlynn for sure was making content back then, because I don't think that her and Beck moved out. That was maybe right around the time that they moved out, if not a little bit after. I'm just like, how far back would I have to go to figure that out if I scroll through her channel? 2018 was how many years ago? Been doing this shit for too long. That was 6 years ago? Let's see if I can, I don't even know if I can scroll back far enough. Let me maybe just try to search. Well, I just found a video that looks like it was from 2020, the beginning of 2020, where she is living in that space that she lived in with Eric and Ricky. So I find it hard to believe that if you've been watching since 2018, you didn't keep up with the Eric and Ricky content. Because they were such a large part of her content when she lived with them.
Okay, actually, my final thought on this is that how can you say you started watching them in 2018 and you didn't really care for the Eric and Ricky content, so you didn't keep up with it, but she was living with them in 2018? I don't know. That's my final thought about it all.
So I don't really necessarily know the nature of their relationship per se. But from my point of view, these are just 2 more puppets in Amberlynn's puppet show that she can just pick up and set back down at her leisure. No.
Also, she didn't read through what this screenshot is, so it looks like there was a conversation that all started on Monday. Also, if this is even actually Eric Cook, also, because I don't know, he's not really on, I didn't even think to check that, he's not really on social media like that anymore. So I'm kind of curious if there's any way to verify that this is really even him. Let me see, it says Eric Cook 692. Look at me being out here being an investigative reporter. I'm not. I'm not in any kind of way. I mean, it's hard to say if this is actually him or not. The actual username is RainbowBoy92, and there's literally no content on here. So it's hard to say if it's actually even Eric Cook, to be honest with you. So I don't know, that's something to keep in mind as well. Anyways, this message, if it is Eric Cook, has him saying hey, her saying sup. He said, working at the moment, but I seen what happened between and Amberlynn, is that all real? And she said, very real. And he said, may I ask what exactly happened? Just curious as to what caused it all to go bad. It's kind of hard to read because one, YouTube has the little line in front of it, and then there's also this little arrow pointing down. I think it says she hadn't really been talking to us much lately, is what I'm gonna guess that it says. Which I also don't think necessarily proves that Eric and Ricky are just like a friend on the back burner, but I guess I see where she got that from. Just in case she doesn't read this one as well. Oh wait, you can read it better here. here. It says, just curious as to what caused it all to go bad. She hadn't really been talking to me much lately. And Alexis says, that's a loaded question. I'm not sure where to begin. I literally just can't stand Emily. Emily literally told Amber that she would rather off herself to be with her late partner than be here with Amberlynn and her kid. Emily needs to focus on herself and her mental health. After that comment was name, she's intolerable to me. And then Eric says WTF. So there you go.
Now, I do understand that this could have been a setup. Like, since I have Amberlynn and Emily blocked on all of my socials, I could see
I hadn't thought about that.
Amberlynn reaching out to him to reach out to me. But one thing about me is I don't say things behind people's backs that I wouldn't say to their face.
Fair enough.
I also just want to point out that I have a typo in the text that says, after the comment was named, she's intolerable to me. I meant to say, after that comment was made.
All right.
But I am clearly illiterate. But I was also at work, so whatever. I wasn't really proofreading.
That's fine.
Also, I'm sorry if I'm not giving you enough time to read the messages.
People can pause.
So just go ahead and pause the video if you need to have more time to read it.
I will. Okay, so I'll do it for y'all. I'll read it for you. So Alexa says, right, my thoughts exactly. And when they were on FaceTime together, they were drinking and Emily was like being super rough with her. And I could tell Amberlynn wasn't used to that. I just really want Amberlynn to get some therapy and work on herself and get away from this freak bag, but I can't be friends with her anymore. And Eric says, I don't think that will happen. I know she admitted in a video that ignores red flags and makes excuses for people when she's dating them. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'll be proved wrong, but this is also not even necessarily giving real to me. I don't know if there's some way that Alexis can vet this, but that sounds like somebody, that statement in particular sounds like somebody who's been watching all the action go down, but isn't actually Eric Cook, you know? Because how are you going to say that you don't really know what's going on or if things are real, but then you're going to be like, oh, well, she admitted in a video that she ignores red flags and makes excuses for people when she's dating them. So you don't know what's going down, but you heard her say that in a video recently? I don't know. And also, Eric honestly doesn't strike me as somebody who's out here watching all of Amberlynn Reid's videos, but I could be wrong. I don't know. That's just my initial reaction to these receipts. Anyways, Alexis says, cool, then she can go down the worst path she could have possibly taken and have an even more miserable life than she's already had. And I don't want to hear a damn thing when she, and then it goes on to the next page.
I just gotta keep the ball rolling because I have a couple other things that I want to talk about in this video.
Sure.
Also, message for Amber. If you move here and the inevitable happens, do not call me. I am not going to be your knight in shining armor, and I'm not going to come save you. So I strongly urge you to not move here if you are not 100 billion% completely sure that Emily/Tommy is not going to you over.
Oh my god, okay, I missed these screenshots too. And I don't want to hear a damn thing when she moves to Wisconsin and the inevitable happens and she wants me to come get her because I'm not. Which is basically what she just alluded to. And Eric said, I get that. Do you even know who I am? And she said, of course I do. And then he said, oh, okay, LOL, I didn't know. Ha ha ha. That also seems like a weird thing to say. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? Anyway, she says, yeah, I don't know. I really cared about Amberlynn, but I know you know firsthand that she's often delusional, and just as much as she says people write their own narratives about her life, she also writes her own narratives about a lot of different things and tries to gaslight me when I quite literally know the truth. And he said, sorry, I'm about to respond, just getting busy with work. And she said, all good, babe. And then he said, this is all just crazy, but she barely speaks to us anymore, honestly, but I know the truth with how she can be when she gets in relationships.
So this is the last screenshot and where the conversation ends for now. And I'm sorry there's not like a whole lot of like piping hot tea in this conversation.
Sure.
But I had mentioned that he reached out in my last video So I felt like it was only right for me to show you guys what was said.
Like, is there a way to look up how recently an account was made or whatever? Because also if you go to who they're following, I assume that, like, the accounts listed first on the list are people that he more recently followed. And his most recent follow in that case is Alexis, then somebody named Possum Trot, and then Amberlynn, and then a bunch of other people after that. So I'm just like, why wouldn't he have already been following Amberlynn Reed? I don't know. I just have more questions. Like, I'm just being super skeptical here about this. Oh, and now we're going to get into the pumpkin spice buzzballs. Great. Stunning. Wonderful.
So now I want to get into the infamous pumpkin spice buzzball conversation between Amber and I.
Uh-huh.
Now, this conversation took place Saturday night after Amber and I spoke on her now deleted live stream.
You know what? Did this happen? It's possible this might have happened at the end of the live stream and I just missed it. Because after the call, almost everything that Amberlynn was saying just was repeatable. Like, it was stuff she had already said. And I probably, like, totally spaced out if this was something that Amberlynn mentioned on the internet. But this DM or text message conversation looks like Alexis saying, "Did you know they have pumpkin spice buzz balls? I'm drinking one, tee-hee." And Amberlynn responded, "Tommy." And then Alexis responded, "The pumpkin spice buzzball is hitting." And then this was Amberlynn's response, Please read this as if I am speaking in a very calm tone." You know what? I appreciate the social cue. Probably crying too? Now that... What do you mean probably crying too? You either are or you're not crying while you're saying this. I'm not trying to be mean at all. I just had a very hard time regulating my emotions during that call on live stream. If I could, I would go back and not call you because that made things worse for me and for Emily when it wasn't needed at all. I am embarrassed. All I have been doing is fighting for peace for Emily and I. If you want a friendship with me, I want a public apology to the both of us since you made the downfall of our friendship public. That was tough. You know how my mental, and then it goes on, but you can't see it.
And after that live stream, I had gone to a concert, and while I was there, we were texting back and forth, and I thought maybe we could hash things out and maybe reconcile. But this is where she started demanding a public apology from me to both her and Emily. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again, Amber. You and Emily can kiss my
ass.
And you are absolutely brain dead if you think that I'm going to apologize, let alone publicly apologize to your girlfriend. Womp womp. And once again, she is playing the part of victim Lynn and basically telling me how awful I am and how embarrassed she is.
All right, let me read the rest of this now that we can see the full message. You know how my mental health has been. I just had thousands of people laugh at me during a BPD episode. Now I'll forever be ridiculed for it because it's documented. I'm genuinely hurt and I feel like an idiot. I don't know that any of that is Alexis's fault. Honestly, you should have just not taken the phone call, but I digress. Emily just opened up to me hardcore and she said that I can tell you about it, which might make you relieved actually. I hope you're enjoying your pumpkin spice buzzball. Is it worth a try? I don't really like pumpkin spice much. And Alexis said, I'll think about apologizing to you, but a public apology to her will not ever happen. It's got me, I'm guessing that says maybe fucked up. I don't know. I can't read it because she crossed out that word. Very strange flavor, but slay. So she's still happy to give her review of the pumpkin spice buzzball. Stunning.
And how I'm so awful and triggering her BPD. I know, Amber, I'm so terrible. I have been an absolutely awful friend to you, while I have been sitting here publicly defending you for the last year and trying to help you cover your tracks.
And that's what I'm saying. You defended her through some awful shit. You stood by her through some awful shit, and now you're putting all of that awful shit on blast for her. I don't know. With friends like this, who the fuck needs enemies?
Because you lie all the time and you can't keep any of your stories straight.
I mean, that's true.
I sat here willing to tarnish my reputation for you while getting doxxed.
And whose choice is that, Alexis?
While having to quit my main job because of said doxing.
Oh, that's crazy.
Meanwhile,
Y'all stay out of Alexis's personal life too. Y'all are crazy. She was like a side character up until this week. Like, and people were really calling her job, her place of employment, just from like her couple of posts about her being friends with Amberlynn prior to this. That's crazy.
Cashing in on our friendship and people ostracizing me. So once again, she makes a demand that I step up.
All of these text messages. All of these text messages. Amberlynn goes on to say, before you make that final decision, I need to explain something to you that Emily just opened up to me about. And Alexis says, fine, go ahead. And she said, I'm not doing it through text. If you aren't willing to listen to me, I can't keep begging you to. And then Alexis says, I have 3 minutes.
Outside from the concert that I was already 2 hours late to attempt to understand Emily's perspective.
Can I also just say, you prioritizing this mess with Amberlynn over just going and enjoying the concert that you probably paid a significant amount of money to go enjoy? Like, crazy to me. But maybe that's just me as like an avid concert goer. Like, I'm not trying to miss what I paid for to get into a beef with a friend from the internet.
Our relationship was never reciprocal in the regards of me putting my life on hold for her versus her putting her life on hold for me. And this confirms my feelings of how I always felt like her problems and her life was more important than mine. So I stepped outside to listen to her parrot the same bullshit I've been hearing for the last week. Like, I don't care about Emily's point of view. I already told you I'm not changing my mind. And with every day that passes, I like her even less.
Oh.
And I feel like I am genuinely being nice in this situation. Because I know enough about Emily to completely ruin what's left of her life.
You already kind of tried to like posit yourself as being really nice because you said you had all kinds of stuff about Amberlynn that could ruin her life and that you wouldn't do that, and then you did. So I imagine you'll also come out with whatever that information is about Tommy too, to be honest with you. In fact, like, you have less reason to protect Tommy. That would actually make more sense to me if your genuine concern is that Tommy is bad for Amberlynn. It would make more sense to me that you'd come out with like a bunch of receipts about Tommy as opposed to all of these things that you've come out to say about your friend Amberlynn.
But as I've mentioned before, Tommy is a mother, and
sure,
I know that doesn't come first to her, but in my opinion, a child's life and a child's well-being is
I guess
top
I see.
priority to me. And speaking on this, I received a DM from Emily's daughter's father's girlfriend, who has expressed very strong concern for the well-being of Emily's child.
That feels like a lot. That feels very like, how did you vet that person? How do you know that person's being honest? How do you know that person's being for real? I would need a lot of information about that.
She has personally asked me to not dox her or leak the conversation, and for now I'm going to respect that. The last thing that I'm going to do
For now, Alexis is gonna respect that. For now. I just want to say, this is somebody who, like, literally put her own alleged, like, good friend's screen captures of a sexy video on the internet. So, like, I would take all of that with a grain of salt before I started reaching out to Alexis with, like, tea and asking her not to put you on blast. Oh, and this is her partner, I guess. This is Alexis's partner, a text message between them. them.
Into is the fact that today my partner made a comment on Amberlynn's TikTok or Instagram or whatever, basically expressing support. Now, I have only been with my ex-partner Chrissy for like 2 months.
My ex-partner Chrissy, it's over.
Distance relationship, and we haven't met in person, so I'm kind of glad this is all coming out now. And they claim that they didn't really know who Amberlynn was initially, but I'm starting to feel like that is a lie. One thing about me is, as my partner, you are not going to make me look stupid. And you are not going to support me in private and then publicly embarrass me. And you guys want to talk about clout chasing? This right here is a clout chaser. And for the last couple of days...
In what ways? Do they have a YouTube channel where they're exposing you? Do they have a YouTube channel where they're exposing Amberlynn? It seems like they left a comment on Amberlynn's TikTok, and based on what's in this screenshot that you're sharing, they like deeply regret doing that because people are harassing them. So, in what ways is Chrissy a clout chaser?
Have already been extremely combative towards me because I'm so obsessed with this Amberlynn drama. And I don't care about my real life anymore.
Maybe that's true.
I was sick of the backlash, and I broke up with them. And honestly, Chrissy, you deserve whatever doxing happens to you at this point.
Alexis is such a vengeful person. How are you gonna be like, this person that you allegedly liked to some extent, be like, I hope you get doxed? That is just nuts. That is nuts. That's why I'm like, ain't no way Alexis is a good party in this. Alexis is just as fucking messy as Amberlynn Reed. I'm sorry. This is a mess. You're ending your whole relationship over this, and because your partner left a comment on a TikTok, that means that they're a clout chaser, when it's clear based on what they sent you that they are regretting that decision.
So you and Amberlynn and Emily can sit on a 3-way FaceTime call and yap it up about me, because the most interesting link doesn't want anything to do with any of you anymore. For you to be so incredibly butthurt about Amberlynn sending me the explicit content that she recently sent me, and then turning around and showing support, you're irrelevant. And you're fake. And
it doesn't sound like they want to be relevant. What do you mean?
I don't really care. And you're not going to gain any social leverage from this situation. I hope you know that. So with that being said, I'm single now. And maybe this was a blessing in disguise.
She said, I'm single now. Feel free to get into my DMs. Because that's apparently... I didn't even realize that Chrissy was somebody that Alexis had met on the internet. That it was long distance and that they had never met. So that just... Y'all need to get out of the DMs and get into the streets. Because this is not working out for any of y'all.
The last thing I want to say is I just want to thank you guys so incredibly much for how much support you guys have been showing me. I was honestly really scared and really skeptical, and I wasn't sure if what I had to say was going to be received well with you guys, but I am so glad that I decided to come out with everything and share my point of view. This entire situation has been really hard, losing my best friend and now my partner. And all of the overwhelming support is really keeping me from crying in the club.
All right.
I will be releasing a Q&A part 3.
I think we're good.
Probably later tonight / tomorrow morning.
I know. Ooh.
And I will be answering some more questions that I received on my TikTok.
What?
If you like this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Bye, guys.
What is left to ask? I don't know. I'm curious. I did look at the comments on her last video, and people were really supportive. I'm curious if that's the case still now. I also know that on my own video that there were still lots of people that were skeptical of her. There were lots of people that were like, I don't know, she seems like not a great person either. and honestly, maybe people are just agreeing with me because that's the vibe I get, but I'm curious if people feel like that today. No, I'm like looking over this, and it seems like generally the comments seem to be her being like people being supportive of her. So I love that for her, I guess. like get your bag, like I said. If that's what you want, if that's what you need, get your bag for sure. I also still feel like I'm curious about how long this is gonna last for Miss Ma'am, but that's not my problem. That's not my issue to worry about today. I don't know. What do y'all think? That's all I have time for today. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!